Anatomy and Physiology, The Cell and Cell Division, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers, by Rumi Michael Lee. Introduction. I would like to thank and congratulate you for listening to this book, Anatomy and Physiology, The Cell and Cell Division, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers. This book will help you understand, revise and have a good general knowledge and keywords of the cell and cell division. Part 1. 1. What is a cell? A cell is the smallest autonomous unit of life. 2. What is the control center of the cell? The nucleus is the control center of the cell. 3. What is the cell cycle? The cell cycle is the sequence of changes the cell undergoes between the moment it begins to form and when it divides. 4. What is a chromatid? A chromatid is one of two identical copies of a chromosome, united at the level of the centromere. 5. What is a chromosome? A chromosome is a condensed DNA molecule. 6. How are chromosomes formed? Chromosomes are formed when chromatin coils and condenses. 7. What are chromatin units called? Chromatin units are called nucleosomes. 8. What is apoptosis? Apoptosis is the programmed cell death. Its function is to eliminate damaged or unnecessary cells. 9. What are liposomes? Liposomes are microscopic bags that serve as versatile vehicles that can transport through the skin or after injection into the blood, drugs, DNA, etc. 10. What is anaplasia? Anaplasia is an anomaly of the structure of a cell, marked by a loss of certain characteristics. 11. What are extracellular materials? Extracellular materials are substances that are outside the cells. 12. What is an isotonic solution? An isotonic solution is a solution that does not cause cellular gain or loss of water. 13. What is a hypertonic solution? A hypertonic solution is a solution that results in a net gain of water by the cell. 14. What is a hypertonic solution? A hypertonic solution is a solution in which the cells undergo a net loss of water. 15. Define a gene. A gene is a segment of DNA. Part 2. 1. What is necrosis? Necrosis is the death of a cell or a group of cells following a lesion or disease. 2. What is the function of autophagy? Autophagy prevents damaged organelles and other debris from accumulating in the cytoplasm. 3. Give some examples of extracellular materials. Some examples are substances that are outside the cells. 4. What is the function of RNA molecules? RNA molecules play a role in the synthesis of proteins and are synthesized on a single strand of the DNA matrix. 5. What is the function of RNA messenger? RNA messenger are RNA molecules which play a role in the synthesis of proteins. They are synthesized on a single strand of the DNA template. 6. What are microvilli and their functions? Microvilli are extensions of the plasma membrane that usually increase the surface area to allow for better absorption. 7. What are the functions of stereocilia? Stereocilia play a sensory role. 8. What are the 4 types of DNA bases? The 4 types of DNA bases are A, C, G and T. 9. The base A always goes with base T. 10. The base C always goes with base G. 11. What are the 2 types of chromosomes? A single chromosome and double chromosomes. 12. Explain the 2 types of chromosomes. A single chromosome, it contains one chromatid and a molecule of DNA. Double chromosomes contain two chromatids and two DNA molecules. 13. What does a chromosome contain? A chromosome contains DNA. 14. What does DNA contain? DNA contains the genetic information. 15. What is needed for DNA to start? More than a dozen proteins and enzymes are needed for DNA to start. Part 3. 1. What are organelles? Organelles are specialized subunits or tiny cellular structures that perform a specific function within a cell. 2. What is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of molecules in the direction of their concentration gradient. 3. What is hyperplasia? Hyperplasia is excessive cell proliferation. 4. What is hypertrophy? Hypertrophy is the increase in the volume of an organ or tissue, as a result of the enlargement of its cells. 5. What is the function of cell junctions? Cell junctions unite the cells and can impede the passage of molecules between the cells or facilitate exchanges from one to the other. 6. What are the stages of mitosis? The stages are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. 7. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is the liquid part of the cell. 8. What are the functions of microtubules? Microtubules determine the structure of the cytoskeleton and play an important role in intracellular transport. 9. What are the functions of microfilaments? Microfilaments play an important role in cellular motility, the movement of parts of the cell. 10. What are the functions of filaments? The resistance to mechanical stress. 11. What is dysplasia? Dysplasia is the changes in cell size, shape or disposition, occurring before or after birth. 12. What is mutation? Mutation is a sudden modification of the DNA base sequence. 13. Explain the stages of mitosis. Stage 1 prophase, the chromosomes are condensed. Stage 2 metaphase, the chromosomes align themselves in the metaphase plate. Stage 3 anaphase, under the action of the spindle fiber, the chromosomes separate towards the two poles. Stage 4 telophase, the chromosomes reach the poles of the cell, the chromosomes are decondensed. Part 4. 1. What are the properties of a cell? A cell is organized, it metabolizes, it adapts and evolves, it is sensitive and it reproduces itself. 2. What are the types of cells? The types of cells are 1. Prokaryotic cells, for example, bacteria, and 2. Eukaryotic cells, for example, animal and plant. 3. What is simple diffusion? Simple diffusion, gases such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. diffuse simply through the membrane. Ions such as sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. follow specific ion channels. 4. What is facilitated diffusion? Facilitated diffusion is a diffusion facilitated by special proteins called carriers. 5. What is osmosis? Osmosis is a particular diffusion, that of water through a selective membrane. Molecules can cross the plasma membrane through protein channels, aquaporins. 6. What are the stages of protein synthesis? Stage 1 transcription, synthesis of an mRNA complementary to DNA. Stage 2 translation, mRNA reading by tRNA and addition of amino acids to the polypeptide chain by means of peptide bonds. 7. What are the functions of autophagosomes? Autophagosomes consist of a spherical structure with a double-layer membrane that encloses cellular constituents and fuses with lysosomes. 8. Explain the two types of membrane transport. 1. Passive transport. Molecules pass the plasma membrane without the cell supplying energy. This consists of diffusion and filtration. 2. Active transport. The cells expend metabolic energy ATP to transport the substance through the plasma membrane. 9. What ensures active transport? Active transport is ensured by a protein carrier, directly or indirectly by the ATP. 10. Give an example of a primary transport. An example is the sodium and potassium pump. 11. Is sodium more concentrated inside or outside the cell? Sodium is more concentrated outside than inside the cell. 12. What is the function of centrioles? Centrioles regulate the formation of the mitotic spindle during cell division. 13. What is the function of the cytoskeleton? The cytoskeleton regulates the shape of the cell. 14. What is the function of the cell membrane? The cell membrane is a fragile barrier that encloses the contents of the cell and separates it from the surrounding environment. The cell membrane defines the boundaries of the cell. 15. Which one initially takes place, the interphase or the phase of the cell cycle? The interphase. Part 5. 1. What are aquaporins? Aquaporins are pores of the membrane. 2. Name some passive mechanisms. Some passive mechanisms are diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and osmosis. 3. What is the function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes the molecules of lipids and steroid hormones. It also contributes to the metabolism of fats, the detoxification of drugs, and also a reserve of calcium ions. 4. What is the function of the rough endoplasmic reticulum? The rough endoplasmic reticulum is a ribosomal membrane system, and it synthesizes phospholipids and cholesterol. 5. What is the function of the Golgi apparatus? The Golgi apparatus packs the proteins to be secreted. 6. What is the function of lysosomes? Lysosomes degrade worn organelles and tissues that have become useless, and release calcium ions during their degradation of bone tissue. 7. What is the function of peroxisome? Peroxisome transforms free radicals and other toxic substances into hydrogen peroxide and then water, protecting the cell from their destructive effects. 8. What is the function of mitochondria? Mitochondria is the head of ATP production and cellular respiration. 9. When does the net movement due to osmosis end? The net movement due to osmosis ends when the concentration of solutes on both sides of the membrane reaches a balance. 10. What kind of barrier does the plasma membrane have? The plasma membrane has a barrier with selective permeability. 11. What are the sex cells? The sex cells are eggs and spermatozoa. 12. Every human being has how many chromosomes? 46 chromosomes. 13. What is the function of mitosis? The division of a cell. This division allows the eukaryotic cells to make identical cells, clones. 14. Name the three components of the nucleic acid base unit. A nitrogen-containing group, a phosphate group, and a sugar. 15. What are the largest molecules in the body? The largest molecules in the body are nucleic acids. 16. What are the two phases of the cell cycle? The two phases of the cell cycle are mitosis and interphase. 17. Explain the two stages of the cell cycle. 1. Mitosis. This is cell division. It takes about 40 minutes. 2. Interphase. This is cellular replication. It takes about 24 hours. 18. What is the function of the cell nucleus? The cell nucleus contains DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. The cell nucleus is the control center or regulation of the cell, and DNA controls reproduction and inheritance. 19. What is the function of the nucleolus? The nucleolus interferes in the synthesis of ribosomes. 20. What is the function of ribosomes? Ribosomes synthesize proteins. Conclusion. Thank you again for listening to this book. I hope it has helped you in your journey to understanding the cell and cell division.